My beloved, my golden light, you are not reading this by mistake. Heaven has been holding back this message, waiting for the exact moment your heart would be soft enough, open enough, wounded enough to finally see what's been happening in silence. Today is that moment. This message is hidden in love but wrapped in emergency because someone, yes, a woman who has been speaking to you like a friend, smiling at you like a sister, has been secretly planning your end. God told me to tell you that if you skip this now and walk away thinking it's just another message, then you may never know how close you came tonight, closer than ever. My child, don't be afraid, but don't take this lightly. She doesn't wear black robes or fly on a broom. She cooks sweet words. She blends lies with blessings. She plays victim, but drinks the poison she poured for you. And tonight she had decided it was time, but heaven blocked it. Why? Because you opened this. Because in this exact second, your soul aligned with the divine shield of heaven. And Archangel Michael stepped in. He stood with his sword burning and said aloud in the courts of heaven, "No, not this one. This soul belongs to God." Listen closely. The next 4 minutes of your attention can change the next 40 years of your life. But if you scroll, if you skip, you will only hear the echo of what could have saved you. God says, this woman carries bitterness. She has told people your secrets. She has smiled in rooms where you were being discussed like meat. She has visited places just to drop your name in darkness. She doesn't know you're God's beloved. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. My child, my beauty, you may feel numb right now because part of you already suspected. Your spirit already screamed, but you silenced it out of love. But love without wisdom is a silent killer. You are not crazy. You are not paranoid. You are not imagining this. Your dreams were trying to warn you. That strange heaviness in your chest when you think of her. That cold air when she enters the room. The blessings that suddenly stopped flowing every time she hugs you. That was not a coincidence. That was a sign. Heaven gave her time to stop. But she didn't. She told the wrong people about you. She spoke curses into your name. She even went to someone who opens gates of darkness tonight. She was told, "It's done. It will happen." But heaven laughed because God had other plans. You're still here. You're reading this. You're not skipping this. And that means you've already shifted something massive in the spirit world. Now, pause, take a breath, touch your heart, say quietly, God, I receive this message. I believe you are protecting me. Let this be your subscription. Not just to words, but to your divine rescue. Because the rest of this message is not just a warning. It's your strategy. It's your escape. It's your power being returned. Keep reading. Because if you stop here, she'll sense the spiritual door halfway opened and she'll try again. Not in the same way, but through someone else. Do not let this seed of warning be wasted. Do not let your miracle be delayed again. God told me, tell my child this truth is wrapped in fire, but inside the flames is gold. Tell them that I don't just expose danger, I destroy it. And I am about to do both tonight. You must do nothing but listen. Don't confront her. Don't text. Don't warn. Don't cry. Just stay close to this message because every word you read cuts a string. She tried to tie around your life. You were her obsession. Her envy wore perfume and her hate wore smiles. But she's being unmasked. Not by you, but by heaven. And when it happens, it will be shocking. But you'll be safe because you opened this. Because you didn't skip. Because you knew deep in your gut. This isn't entertainment. It's a rescue operation. God says they will see you rise from the trap they planned. You are the testimony that even a weapon formed at midnight can break before it reaches morning. And now, my child, stay with me. Because what I say next is what she never wanted you to know. She never thought you'd find out. She never imagined that the same God who gives rain and sunrise would bother to speak to you personally like this. She never imagined you'd become so spiritually awake that you'd stop ignoring the signs. But here you are, awake in the middle of the night or distracted in the middle of the day. And suddenly this message reaches you like a thunderbolt whispered by heaven itself. You didn't click by mistake. You didn't pause by accident. The realm of light has been surrounding you, pulling strings in silence just to get you here. And now the truth must unfold. No matter how heavy, no matter how unbelievable. She used to sit beside you. She used to listen to your pain. You opened your soul thinking you were talking to someone safe. But she was collecting your weaknesses like a hunter marks a map. You didn't know it then, but every time you cried, she secretly rejoiced. You were feeding her need to feel stronger. She didn't want to be you. She wanted to destroy you so that she could wear your life like a stolen crown. God saw all of it from the first fake compliment to the last whispered plan. And God's Spirit grieved because you loved her, because you trusted her. Because even now there's a part of your heart that still wants to protect her. But my beloved, you cannot protect what is planning to bury you. You cannot cover what is cursing your name while bowing their head in fake prayer. God is not angry with you for loving her. He is just asking you to finally let Him take it from here. And when you place your struggle in God's hands, He does not leave you without direction. He places a clear path before you so you can move forward with faith and peace. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear. You are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you. A 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. A path where each day brings you a focused prayer. A small financial action in clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comments below. Because surrender is not weakness. It is the moment you stop carrying everything alone and allow God to lead your next steps. No more reasoning with demons. No more excusing evil in the name of loyalty. No more denying the storm that's already knocking on your door. Because tonight she thought she would win. She thought your silence was weakness. She thought your kindness was blindness. But heaven has made a decision. Her time of hiding is over. Michael has drawn the sword. The angels have surrounded your house. The traps set in the spirit have been reversed. And now everything she has said, whispered, planned, and sent is coming back to her doorstep. This isn't revenge. This is justice. Divine, holy, uncontestable justice. You, child of heaven, are not allowed to go down in silence. You are not permitted to be swallowed by betrayal. You were born with too much light, too much purpose, too much of God's fingerprint to be destroyed by someone fueled by bitterness. Let this sentence echo in your spirit. You will live and she will watch it. Yes, she will witness your rise. Not just a financial rise, not just love or favor. She will watch your spirit rise into full clarity. You will laugh again, but this time with full awareness. You will love again, but this time with holy wisdom. You will walk again, but this time with your feet protected by angels every step of the way. This message isn't here to scare you. It's here to wake up the lion sleeping inside your soul. It's here to remind you God isn't just watching. He's moving right now. And you're not alone. Because I, Archangel Michael, have been standing behind you. Even when you felt like giving up, even when you cried yourself to sleep, wondering why people keep turning on you. Even when you questioned, God, why do I feel so attacked and I haven't hurt anyone? Because your light is loud. Because your presence shakes hidden evil. Because your calling is dangerous to the darkness. That's why she couldn't stop talking about you. That's why she couldn't celebrate your wins. That's why she wanted to erase you before the world saw what heaven always saw. But the tables have turned. Heaven is not asking you to fight. Heaven is asking you to trust. And now in this sacred moment, before this message goes cold, before your phone rings, before distractions pull you away, God is asking you one thing. Stay, listen, and surrender. Surrender the pain. Surrender the confusion. Surrender the revenge. And instead, let God finish what He just started. Subscribe now to Heaven's plan. Not just with a click, but with your spirit. Say quietly under your breath, God, I believe this is for me. I choose light. I choose protection. I choose to believe that I am being rescued even now. Now you are sealed in light. The next part of this message is the part that returns your power and reveals what's coming next. You've seen the darkness. Now it's time to see the miracle. Let me tell you now what she never wanted you to remember. Your life was never ordinary. Your birth was not a mistake. Even when you were born, the spiritual realm shifted. Even when you were a child, angels stood around you in silent admiration. You were always marked. You were always protected. And because of that, you have always been misunderstood by people who couldn't carry the weight of your purpose. She knew it. She felt it before even you did. That's why she kept her smile close and her jealousy closer. She saw how heaven responded to you. She heard your words and knew they carried weight in the spiritual realm. And she couldn't handle the fact that no matter how much she tried to dim your light, you still glowed. Now you understand why you lost so many people without explanation. Now you see why your name was dragged into rooms you've never entered. Now you realize the pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God had to make sure that when the mask falls off this woman, you wouldn't break again. He had to strengthen your spine so that when the truth screams out of silence, you wouldn't collapse in grief. You'd rise in glory. There were nights she mentioned your name in dark company. There were moments she mocked your softness. She called your trust weakness. She called your peace naive, but she didn't know. It was your mercy holding back the storm. It was your prayers that kept her alive. Live this long. Yes, you prayed for her. You asked God to bless her. You asked Him to heal her and He tried. But when healing is rejected, darkness expands and her soul opened the door that now cannot be closed except by divine intervention. That's why God said enough. He has seen you betrayed too many times. He's seen you cry into your own pillow, biting your tongue so you wouldn't dishonor someone who dishonored you first. He watched as you gave second chances to people who didn't even deserve your presence once. He saw how you broke in silence and smiled in public just so the people you loved wouldn't feel guilty. But this time is different. This time God is stepping in. This time the angels are not just comforting you, they are defending you. This time the sword has been drawn. And this time the leer will be silenced. You will not lose. You will not die in secret. You will not be erased. Not when heaven itself has taken your side. Not when this message has been delivered through divine fire. Not when the most powerful angel in God's army has been assigned to you directly. Archangel Michael says, the time of warnings is over. This is execution. The execution of every plan the enemy had against your name, your mind, your health, your calling, your relationships, your future. Every thread she tried to weave into your story burned. Every whisper she sent behind your back reversed. Every agreement she made with darkness canceled by the courts of heaven. But you must do one thing, one sacred thing. You must stop apologizing for your anointing. You must stop explaining why you feel things others don't. You must stop shrinking just to keep others comfortable. You must remember who you are, not who they said you are. Because when God formed you, He didn't use leftover dust. He breathed the essence of prophecy into your lungs. He carved out your heart with extra softness so that you would carry mercy like royalty. And now He's demanding that you reclaim your throne. This woman tried to make you feel small. But what she didn't know is that God allowed her to get close, not to destroy you, but to expose her. The closer she came, the clearer her darkness became under the light of your spirit. She thought she was playing chess, but God already wrote the ending. Tonight, heaven is not asking for your opinion. Heaven is moving, and no force of man or spirit can undo what God has declared. It is finished. Now, child, dry your tears, straighten your back, lift your eyes. This is not your burial. It is your rebirth. And the next time she speaks your name, it will tremble off her lips because she will know beyond question, beyond confusion, beyond denial that you are not just another person. You are God's divine beloved. And touching you means dealing with the army of heaven. And now God is rewriting the parts of your story that were almost stolen. Yes, almost. Because she got close. So close that you started questioning if you were the one at fault. You began second-guessing your own goodness, your own clarity, your own worth just to justify the unexplainable feeling of discomfort that lingered every time you interacted with her. You chalked it up to miscommunication. You blamed yourself because that's what kind people do. But my beloved, spiritual attacks rarely announce themselves in obvious ways. They wear disguises. They wear familiar faces. They carry voices that once felt like home. But home shouldn't feel like suffocation. Loyalty shouldn't feel like slow poison. And love should never leave you with sleepless nights and trembling spirit. That's why God said it ends here. This battle that you didn't ask for. This pain you didn't deserve. This cycle of trusting the wrong people because of your pure heart. It ends here. The same way night has to give way to sunrise. Your suffering is being commanded to release you now because you passed the test. Because you didn't let their betrayal turn you cold. Because you still chose love when you had every reason to choose revenge, and heaven took note. Every time you cried alone but refused to curse them. Every time you wanted to retaliate but chose prayer instead. Every time your name was dragged and you still offered help. Every time your spirit bent but didn't break. Heaven wrote it down line by line, and God said, I will repay this soul for every silent war they walked through with grace. So now the reward is coming, but not just in money, not just in peace. It's coming in the form of revelation. God is giving you eyes to see the truth in people. He's removing the fog from your discernment. He's blessing you with clarity so sharp, so undeniable that no one will ever be able to deceive you again. You're stepping into a season where your spirit will speak louder than their words. Where your intuition will rise like thunder before the storm, where no matter how well they dress their betrayal, your soul will smell it from miles away. And this gift is sacred. It's divine compensation. For all the years you wandered in love, not knowing some of that love was being weaponized against you. But listen, don't let take root now. Don't become what they were. That's how darkness spreads through pain that turns innocent people bitter. But God didn't preserve you for that. He preserved you for greatness. He kept you alive because there are nations in your voice, healing in your touch, and future miracles written with your name as the sender. And no enemy, not even one pretending to be a friend, will cancel what God has already placed inside you. No betrayal, no slander, no fake hug, no spiritual weapon will prosper because they tried and it failed. They whispered and you still rose. They gathered and you outlived their curses. They watched and you bloomed anyway. So let them talk now. Let them stare now. Let them wonder how you're still shining. You don't owe them silence. You don't owe them softness. You owe them nothing. Only God gets the credit now. Only heaven deserves your loyalty. And Michael is not leaving your side. Even now as you sit here reading this, his sword remains drawn. No weapon will form. No curse will stick. No evil plan will hatch because Archangel Michael has sealed your path. And your name has been placed on heaven's wall of divine protection. You've cried enough. Now you receive. You fought long enough. Now you rest. You've been silent too long. Now you speak not in anger but in power. You were never ordinary. That's why ordinary people couldn't handle you. That's why she couldn't support you. You carried too much light. You reminded her of everything she never dealt with in herself. And instead of healing, she attacked. Instead of growing, she envied. Instead of learning from you, she tried to erase you. But it didn't work. Because what God built in you, no human can tear down. Not even one who was once close enough to kiss your cheek. And now, my beloved, heaven wants you to breathe. Let this message wrap around your chest like an embrace. Let your heart beat slow. Let your soul unclench its fists. Let your spirit know that you're safe now. Safe from hurt. Safe from betrayal. Safe from false love. Safe from what was planned for tonight, but has already been stopped by the fire of the angels. She doesn't know that the plans she whispered in secret rooms have already been overturned. She doesn't know that the curses she sent are now circling back to their sender. She doesn't know that God has drawn a line in the sand and said, "Not this child, not this soul, not anymore." But you know now, you can feel it. The very atmosphere around you is shifting because you are no longer standing alone. You are standing under divine orders, protected by forces that never sleep. Do you realize how much power is behind you? The same God who parts oceans is the one who shields you tonight. The same God who sends fire from heaven is the one who silences every mouth speaking against you. When he says, "Touch not my anointed," every plot collapses. Every hidden dagger turns to dust and every scheme dissolves before it can reach you. This is what is happening right now in the unseen realm. Angels are scattering the plans that were designed to corner you. They are cutting the ropes that were meant to trap your future. They are opening doors so wide that even the memory of these battles will fade. My beloved, this is not just a warning. This is a transfer of strength. God is pouring His courage into your veins. He is restoring what was taken, your confidence, your joy, your peace. The nights you lay awake replaying conversations in your mind, trying to figure out who to trust, who to forgive, who to let go of. Those nights are over. And as God brings those restless nights to an end, He also places a clear and faithful path before you to restore peace in every area that has been weighing on your heart. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money. The stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you. A 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. Because when peace begins returning to your mind, you no longer have to fight every battle yourself or live trapped in constant uncertainty because heaven has already made the decision. The masks will fall and you won't have to do a single thing. You won't have to fight. You won't have to defend your name. You won't have to prove your worth. God Himself will be your evidence. Your life will speak louder than their lies. Do you know why this hurts so much? Because you gave your heart to the wrong hands. You loved with purity, but they handled your soul with carelessness. It's not your fault. It was never your fault. Kindness is not weakness. Love is not stupidity. Your heart is not a mistake. It's a treasure, and those who try to crush it will face consequences they cannot escape. The time for silence is over. Not silence in your words, but silence in your spirit. You have been silent too long about your pain. You have swallowed too many tears. You have let too many people take advantage of your forgiveness. But now God is lifting your chin. He is saying, no more, my child. You will no longer bow to false love. You will no longer shrink for the sake of those who secretly hate your light. You will rise, and the same mouths that cursed you will watch and be silent. Let this moment sink in. You are not here by accident. There is no coincidence that these words are reaching you. Something deep in your spirit has been crying for confirmation. You have been asking, God, is this person really against me? Am I just imagining this? Am I wrong to feel this? And here is your answer. No, you are not imagining it. No, you are not wrong. Your spirit has been right all along. The unease you felt was not paranoia. It was protection. God was whispering, be careful. Watch closely. Don't ignore this. And now heaven is saying, trust your spirit. I put that warning inside you for a reason. The plans for tonight have already failed. She thought this would be the day she would see you broken. She thought this would be the day her whispers would finally create cracks in your life. But instead, this is the day she will see your divine shield. She will watch as you remain untouched, unshaken, unbroken. Because your roots are not in the ground of man's approval. Your roots are in God Himself. And no storm can pull up what God planted. Of course, beloved soul, let me carry you even deeper now into the silence beyond this message. The place where heaven writes miracles before they touch earth. The part of the message that not everyone stays to hear. But you are still here. And because of that, I can give you what most never receive. The final whisper, the sacred seal, the divine truth that is written only for those who refuse to let go before the blessing is complete. Now listen closely. There is a shift happening in your spiritual records. A page has just turned. You didn't feel it with your body, but your soul noticed it. That subtle sigh, that flicker of energy behind your ribs, that quiet moment where your mind stopped racing, that was heaven pressing the stamp of approval on this next chapter of your life. The chapter where you finally see what God was writing in the dark. Because for so long, you felt left out. You looked around and saw others getting answered, others receiving, others being celebrated. And you asked quietly, almost ashamed to even pray it. God, did you forget me? But now you know He didn't. He was building something custom. He was stretching your capacity. He wasn't ignoring you. He was preparing you so that when the blessing came, you wouldn't reject it. You see, some people get their blessings too early. They fumble them. They panic. They sabotage the very thing they cried for. But you waited. And because of that, what's coming to you will stay. It will grow. It will multiply. Because it's coming on schedule, not rushed, not forced, but divine. And don't worry about those who didn't support you. Don't try to explain your glow up. Don't waste your breath trying to defend your journey. The people who couldn't love you at your lowest do not get access to your highest. Let that truth rest in your spirit. This next version of you will not chase, will not beg, will not shrink. You will rise, not arrogantly, but in reverent strength. Because now you know what it cost to be here. You've paid in tears. You've paid in silent prayers. You've paid in long nights and lonely mornings. And heaven, oh beloved, heaven always repays in double. So prepare. Not just emotionally, but practically. Clear your space. Clear your schedule. Clear your heart. Make room for what's about to come in. Because your life is not just changing. It's being upgraded. And let me tell you something that will sound unbelievable, but I must say it because it's true. There is a letter being written about you right now. Yes, a physical letter or maybe a digital one, but it carries your name. And in the heart of the one writing, it is an instruction from God. Honor this person. Give them what they deserve. Bless them without delay. This is not just spiritual. This is material. The kind of news that makes you weep in private because you never expected God to be this generous. But He is. He always was. You just hadn't seen this side of Him yet. And what about your family? Yes, even their restoration. There will be healing in the bloodline. Conversations that once felt impossible will be spoken not perfectly but peacefully. Some hearts are softening behind closed doors. They may not say it out loud, but they're realizing they were wrong. And soon, the apology you thought would never come, it will arrive. Not because you chased it, but because heaven arranged it. And finally, one last instruction for your spirit tonight. As you lay your head down, let go. Let go of the version of you that had to pretend to be okay. Let go of the fear that it's too late. Let go of the belief that miracles are for other people. Because right now, as you read this final breath of the message, God is moving. He's shifting things in rooms you haven't entered yet. He's rewriting timelines. He's bending rules. He's turning no to watch what I'm about to do. And all because you stayed. You didn't rush. You didn't click away. You didn't skip to the end. You believed. And now, beloved, heaven responds. Get ready because what you're about to walk into, you won't have words for it. Only tears. But they'll be the kind of tears that say, God, you really heard me. God didn't bring you this far to let their curses be the final word. No, beloved, if their curses had power, you wouldn't be standing here today. You wouldn't have survived what they said behind closed doors. You wouldn't have made it through the nights when the air felt heavy, your body felt tired, and your spirit couldn't even pray. But you're still here. You're reading this message not by coincidence, but because heaven has drawn you into this moment for divine alignment. God is reclaiming the parts of you that were stolen in silence. Your trust, your boldness, your voice. You kept shrinking so they could feel tall. You kept quiet so they wouldn't feel exposed. But what about you? Who protected your heart while you were busy defending theirs? God did, and He's still doing it now. Even while you doubted your own intuition, Heaven kept a record. Even while you felt guilt for suspecting someone who once prayed with you, Heaven was preparing to reveal everything. Because love should never require blindness. Because real connection doesn't manipulate your discernment. Because spiritual loyalty never asks you to silence your soul just to keep the peace. And now God is pouring restoration into places of you that you didn't even realize had been bleeding. He is healing not just the wound, but the root. Because this wasn't the first person to do this to you. It was just the final one that Heaven allowed to go that far. You've had others, family, friends, people who said your name in rooms that were never meant to speak of you. People who took your presence for granted, used your light to feel warm, and blamed you when their shadows showed up. No more. You are in the season of divine reversal, where the last will become first, where the ignored will be honored, where the humble will be raised up, and where the betrayed will receive beauty for ashes. So don't look back. Don't go back and pick up what God told you to release. Don't try to apologize for seeing clearly. You're not being harsh. You're being obedient. Because discernment is not judgment. It is love protected by truth. And your future is too important to be clouded by manipulative energy. She had her chance. God gave her time. He sent conviction. He sent dreams. He gave her warnings. And she ignored every single one. She continued talking about you. She continued planting seeds of doubt about you in the minds of others. She continued sending messages, making calls, all while keeping a fake smile in your presence. But God watches the heart. And now He's showing you what He saw all along. This isn't just protection. This is prophecy unfolding. Because the moment your spirit started waking up, the divine scroll of your life started opening again. That's why the warfare increased. That's why she became more desperate, because your awareness was threatening the control she no longer has. And that's why God had to interrupt your timeline with this message. Not just to warn you, not just to comfort you, but to release you. To give you permission to let go without guilt, to allow you to feel every ounce of peace without apologizing. To remind you that you are allowed to choose you, to choose healing, to choose peace, to choose elevation, to choose what aligns with your anointing instead of what simply fits your past. You're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're not cutting people off. You're obeying divine instruction. You're not being dramatic. You're stepping into discernment that Heaven sharpened just for this moment. This is holy. This is sacred. This is rescue. And you, beloved, you are the one God has chosen to walk out of this fire without smelling like smoke. You are the one who will testify that no betrayal, no secret conversation, no shadow, no curse, and no fake friend could stop the favor of God from flooding your life. Because when God says it's your time, it's your time. Not even their hate can delay what's been divinely stamped with your name. You don't have to look over your shoulder anymore. You don't have to keep scanning every word and smile for hidden motives. You don't have to keep pretending you're okay with people who celebrate you in private and crucify you in secret. That season has passed. The veil has been torn. Heaven has stepped in, and what was hidden is being dragged into the light. Not by your hand, by God's, not through confrontation, but revelation. Not with rage, with righteous exposure. Because God doesn't just uncover to humiliate. He uncovers to heal. And in this uncovering, he's healing the wounded parts of you that always sensed something was wrong, but never had proof. The parts of you that smiled when your spirit screamed. The parts of you that kept giving even as your soul was starving. He's healing that right now. Even as you read this is your spiritual CPR. This message was heaven's way of reaching into your chest and restarting what betrayal tried to silence: your trust, your hope, your power. You were never weak. You were just exhausted. You were never blind. You just didn't want to believe someone could fake love so well. You weren't wrong to care. But you would be wrong to keep allowing someone to stay who was secretly sent to sabotage your spirit. She didn't just dislike you. She was threatened by your light. You didn't even have to do much. Your presence alone was proof that favor rests on you. She tried to copy your words, your style, your glow. But imitation without anointing is empty. She could never carry what you carry because she wasn't forged in the fire like you were. She didn't cry the prayers you cried. She didn't walk through your private storms. She didn't wrestle with God on nights when no one was watching. You did. And that's why God chose you. That's why this message didn't find her. That's why this divine alert didn't land in her feed. Because this isn't for her, it's for you. It's always been for you. Because God is jealous over you. Because Michael has been assigned to you. Because the time for warning has ended and the time for breakthrough has begun. Let this hit deep. No one will get the credit for your survival but God. Not a friend, not a family member, not even you. Because what was launched against you this time, it wasn't just betrayal. It was spiritual assassination. And you would not have survived it had heaven not intervened. But now the weapon has been broken. The conversation that was meant to curse you has collapsed. The decision that was meant to harm you has been reversed. And the place where they thought they would bury you will become the stage of your elevation. She will watch. They will all watch. Not because God is petty, but because God is just. He will set a table before you. And not behind closed doors, not in shadows. He will do it where those who mocked you have to see it. Where those who doubted you have to swallow their words. Where those who lied on your name have to hear that name praised by angels. So rest. Rest in the fire if you must. It can't burn you. Rest in the storm if you must. It can't draw you. Rest in the process if you must. It can't stop you because God is not through. He's just beginning. This is your beginning. This is your chapter. This is your becoming because God is not through. He's just beginning. This is your beginning. This is your chapter. This is your becoming. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open.